Curious about what the top 3 neighborhoods are in Virginia Beach? We're gonna hit that right now. Welcome back to the Living in Coastal Virginia channel, where we cover everything live, work, play here in the Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Chesapeake, 7-City, 757 Hampton Roads area. If you'd like more information like this, you can hit that little subscribe button and you'll get notifications for any time that a new video comes out. The little like button, if this content is helpful, that lets the algorithm know that we're doing the right thing, and it should put more content like this in front of your face. My wife and I run a small team called the Inman Home Services team with Creed Realty, and we do everything to help people move easily and smoothly in and out of the area. We'd love to help you. We get hit up all the time on text message and phone calls and emails, carrier pigeon, whatever it's best way to get a hold of us. Content or the contact information should be here, maybe again right over my face like Sean likes to do. Hit us up and we'll help you out. If you're curious about what the best of what Virginia Beach has to offer, that's what we're going to go over right now. All right, in no particular order, number 1 is Allenton. Now this is located in the Great Neck area. If you're looking for a wonderful, old, established neighborhood, super quiet, something that your kids can easily walk to the local public school, this neighborhood may be for you. You've got tons of old growth trees. The majority of the lots are half an acre or more. Nearly the entire neighborhood, except for the ones that are right there on the waterfront, are in flood zone X, which means no flood insurance. That's a huge deal. Nearly a quarter of all the homes in here are on the waterfront on Broad Bay. And what's super special about this neighborhood is that you're actually facing across of Broad Bay, which is right across from First Landing State Park, which means that you get these uninterrupted, beautiful water views looking directly into a national park. The majority of the neighborhood was developed in the 60s and 70s, so there are a mix of homes in there that could potentially use some updating, but it's a hugely desirable neighborhood. The turnover rate, which means how often people move in and out of a neighborhood, is less than half of what the average is for the area, which means that this area is just super desirable. There is a community pool. Because this neighborhood is not part of a homeowners association or property association, there is a membership fee to be part of it, and you don't actually have to be part of the neighborhood to be part of that actual pool. However, the majority of it tends to be people in the neighborhood. They do have a swim league. It's super reasonable on cost, and it's gorgeous because it's actually sitting right there on the wetlands, so it almost feels like you're out in the middle of nowhere. I already mentioned schools, but you're in Allenton Elementary, Cape Hembry, which is a private school, and then you have Colonial High School. All of these are highly rated in the area. You can look at, again, niche.com, schooldigger.com, or greatschools.org. All 3 of those are great options to check out ratings for schools. The only downside, I would say, of this neighborhood, and you may not even see it as this, is that the streets are actually quite narrow and tight. There are no dedicated sidewalks really for the neighborhood. However, that doesn't keep people from walking and walking their dogs, going out on walks, their kids riding their bikes up and down the streets there. But if you're wanting kind of that 2-lane feel with dedicated sidewalks, that's probably just not going to happen. For shopping, I mean, you're really close to Harris Teeter's, like literally 5 minutes away. You've got Hilltop Shopping, which has a huge variety of upscale shopping really nearby with some fantastic dining options. Highly rated for the area. That's only maybe 10 minutes away, and you're maximum with traffic, 13, 14 minutes from the oceanfront. The average for the neighborhood as of last year was around $550,000. And then anything that's along the ocean, if you really want that boat lifestyle or the ability to just stare across the water and get that $1 million view, well, that's what it's going to cost you, is about $1.5 million is kind of the average along the water there for the last couple of years. Rolling on to neighborhood number 2, this for me is going to be the North End. I think that if you're looking at moving into Virginia Beach, either for retirement or a second vacation home, or you just want the best of what Virginia Beach has to offer, there really is nothing second to the North End. The entirety of the North End starts right around where the Cavalier Hotel is and is about a 3-mile strip split right in half with Atlantic Avenue, goes all the way up to Fort Story. One of the beauties of this area is basically every single house is within walking distance of the beach. If you're looking for the beach lifestyle, the Virginia Beach lifestyle, the ability to walk out your front door and within literally just a few minutes or less, being out there with sand between your toes, this area is for you. The whole area nearly everybody has a dog or beach cruiser, so the ability to go out your door again and cruise up and down the strip there right next to Atlantic, or take your dog out on the beach and go for evening walks. It's just a very special area. The majority of the homes in this area are going to be single family units, and actually quite a few of what are called dual condo units, which means they're sharing one wall. They've done this quite a bit because there's very limited space, and to be able to have 2 units on one lot of land, they had to do a shared wall. There are no condo fees with the majority of these, which means that, again, you're taking care of your own landscaping and that type of thing. I would say one of the only potential downsides of being in the North End is that there are still a ton of locals that come to the oceanfront, to go surfing and take their families to the beach. So parking is highly limited. You're likely going to need to have no parking signs out in front of your driveways, so that you don't have these locals that park and block you in. Other than that, you're going to have this small beach town vibe, and it's absolutely fantastic. Again, right there at the south end of the North End, you have the Cavalier Hotel. It's one of Virginia Beach's oldest attractions and oldest hotels. We now have a distillery there, which is super cool, so you can get some old Cavalier bourbon. And then they also host one of the coolest little restaurants called the Hunt Room. If you haven't had a chance to check it out yet, you definitely should. Another small potential downside of the North End is that there really isn't a whole lot of shopping. Right there towards the south end of the North End, you do have the Cavalier Hotel and a variety of fantastic restaurants, but actual shopping is going to be hilltop. Everything's going to be kind of, again, that 10, 15, 20-minute drive. A few special mentions when it comes to restaurants is going to be, like I mentioned, the Hunt Room. I would say that Isle Capri there on 39th Street is a fantastic Italian restaurant, a high-end Italian restaurant that overlooks the oceanfront. It's on the very, very top of the Holiday Inn on 39th Street. Special out to Pasquale, the chef there. And then would say Pacifica, which is a tapas place, which means small plates. They specialize in creating these super high curated plates that are just really, really cool, and they really don't have the same thing twice there. 3 main areas of pricing for this, the North End. You basically have the west side, which is on the west side of Atlantic. You have the east side of the Atlantic, and then you have oceanfront homes. Anything that is going to be on the west side of the Atlantic, which means you have to cross it to get to the oceanfront, is going to be in the average of $725,000. Getting on the east side of the Atlantic, which you're going to pay a premium to be closer to the oceanfront and not have to cross that major street, is going to be about $1 million. And anything that's along the oceanfront there is going to average about $2 million. At least the $2 million has been the average for the last 3 years. It has gone up. There are some wonderful, super amazing waterfront palaces, if you will, that have been up in the $4 and $5 million range. All right, neighborhood number 3 is going to be Lagomar. This is a really special neighborhood. It's on the way down to the Outer Banks or Sand Bridge. You're basically sandwiched between a busy road. You've got almost like a buffer neighborhood, if you will, and then it's backed up to the wetlands, which means that it's going to be very, very quiet back there. The majority of the neighborhood is going to be larger homes, 35, 36, 3,700 square feet or even more. Nearly half of or more of the neighborhood has in-ground pools built in. The neighborhood was actually built in about 3 different phases. You had some of the homes that were built in kind of the early 90s. You had some that were built in the early 2000s, and then you have some that started another phase that was built between 2015 and today. I would say one of the main reasons people seek after this area in general is for Red Mill Elementary School and Kellam High School. Those are probably one of the highest rated schools in the area, and people look to this area specifically for those school districts. I've actually myself have had several friends that have moved into that neighborhood. Every time I'm visiting, there are kids riding their bikes, people out walking their dogs. There seems to be a very deep sense of community in the area, and everyone that I've talked to absolutely loves living there. A few notable mentions on things that you're close to. You're about 13 minutes from Sandbridge, 15 minutes from the Virginia Beach oceanfront. You are about 15 minutes from the Virginia Beach Farmers Market if you want to shop some of that local food and produce. And then, Hilltop, again, for that high-end or luxury shopping, really only about a 15 to maybe 20-minute drive at worst. The average for the neighborhood is around 600,000. It can go up to just below $1 million, and then there are some homes in there that could use, a remodel or so that maybe are going to be bordering in the 400s. Again, this is my top 3 neighborhoods. Obviously, there are way more than we can hit, and there are even other neighborhoods that are high-end or the best of what Virginia has to offer. We only have so much time today. We'll hit some more of those in another video. If you found this video helpful, please hit a little like button down there. That helps the algorithm, helps me know that I'm doing good work. 2, hit the subscribe button with that little bell notification. That will let you know anytime a new piece of content comes out from us. Makes Sean happy, makes me happy. So Rachel and I help people every single day move into the area. My wife and I run a small team called the Inman Home Services team with Creed Realty. We would love to help your family move into this area and join us in this fantastic coastal Virginia living in Hampton Roads. Sometimes, man, nice and smooth into the area. Hit us up via text or email. Either one's great, and we'll help you make that transition well. I'm going to throw something. All right. All of our contact information is below. Hit us up in any way that's most convenient for you, and we'll help make that transition nice and smooth.